It's Fill Your Plate Now, where every bite brings you closer to the farm gate and further from what's unhealthy. Now here's your hosts, Julie and Tammy, helping you live well by filling your plate well.
Welcome to Fill Your Plate Now. And today we not only have a really interesting segment, but what I think is a yummy segment because I've tried these products and they're amazing. And we have Kevin Danzeisen with us today from Danzeisen Dairy. And we're going to talk to him a little bit about what he produces and all of the different varieties of it and learn a little bit about his background. Welcome, Kevin.
Thanks. Appreciate you having me up here.
Yeah, and you are not new to dairy. You're a third generation dairyman, and your grandmother and grandfather came out here. Is it from Southern California?
Yep. So my grandpa was a hoof trimmer in Southern California. That's how he kind of got his foot in the door, I guess. But I should have said hoof in the door, huh?
Yeah.
But that's how he saved up some money by trimming hooves and brought his first 10 cows out here in 1957, rented a dairy on Northern Avenue and 75th Avenue, and built the dairy that is on 75th Avenue in 1967. So we've been around a while.
Wow. And then your mom was one of his daughters, correct?
Yes.
And married Clayton, your father, and then they continued to dairy.
Yes. Well, I got a kind of interesting path to the dairy business because my dad was actually a teacher for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
And so they met in college. His first job was in DeMott, Indiana. I don't know if you know over there, but there's big dairies there now. That's where Fairlife was kind of started. Or whatever. Yeah, well, kind of. But anyways, that's where he taught for a long time. So my mom was from here, but when we came out here for Christmas, that was a treat, right? Because I remember one time we left the house and it was -10. And we get off the plane here. That was in Terminal 2 when you got off the plane out on the tarmac. And I remember the door opening and it was 80 degrees. And I thought, oh, this is the best place ever. I love Arizona. And then I got to hang out with my grandpa on the dairy. And that's where kind of the love for cows really started. In beautiful weather and out there with my grandpa learning about cows. And that's how I just always wanted to learn more about cows from there. So, and then in 2000, my grandpa had passed away already and my grandma needed some help. So she called my dad. I already had worked for dairy guys out in California for a while, so I had quite a bit of experience. That's when me and my dad both moved here and started in the dairy business together. It was in 2000.
Oh,
Wow.
that's fascinating.
Yeah.
And then your background is in agribusiness, right? You went to Fresno State?
Fresno State agribusiness with the dairy science emphasis. So that was my love, is the dairy.
So you were able to put all that to use and then eventually open up the bottling plant with the glass bottles that are famous now. Everybody loves those, and so many different flavors. And we're going to get into that a little bit more. But yeah, it just expanded, and you even have a creamery store now too, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, we started the bottling plant in 2014, almost 11 years now.
Wow, has it been 11 years?
11 years already. We decided that we wanted to do something different. We saw that there was glass bottle opportunity that hadn't been done here in Arizona for a while, and we didn't know if it was going to work. I remember it was the dumbest business plan ever, to be honest with you. But sometimes you have to take a step forward and try something new. But we didn't have any stores when we built that thing. We didn't really know where we were going to sell the milk or anything. But I do remember while we were building the plant, we had a lot of vendors and salespeople coming in, and we decided that we needed a receptionist. And so we were like, they're not really in the budget. So let's put a cooler out there in the lobby, and maybe we'll sell enough milk so that we can pay for the receptionist. Well, that was just one little cooler. We didn't know how to run a store or anything. And today, we sell from that little cooler. We do milkshakes, we do coffee lattes there. We do full on ice cream, 14% high butter fat. Really high quality ice cream. So it's packed from 8 o'clock. Yesterday we served the last person at 8:10 at night. We served the last ice cream. So it's been a real blessing, and that thing was never really part of the business plan, the store and the scoop shops, but the ideas and the opportunities are kind of endless there. We plan on now. We also have one in Payson, so that was our first satellite one. And now we're looking to open up some more scoop shops here in 2026.
Scoop
probably
shops, in other words, ice cream.
Ice cream, yeah.
Okay.
Ice cream is
great.
is like the big draw
Yeah.
with the. We do something called stack shakes. So we do milkshakes, but then on top of it, we stack like an ice cream sandwich or a
Oh, my
donut or something,
goodness.
and we rotate that through. For 4th of July, we had a shake that we put a sparkler in it. So like when we served it to the customer, whatever the sparkler was going, and I'm not sure how legal or how much the fire department like that.
We won't go into that
No,
part.
we don't worry about that.
But I went on your website, and it's Danzeisen Dairy.
Danzeisendairy.com.
Okay. Yeah, and looking at that ice cream and the milkshakes, it made me really, really hungry. Of course,
Yes.
we're getting towards the end of the day here today, so I'm starting to feel hungry again just thinking about it. And you've expanded back into Southern California too, then.
Yep, we're now in like 225 stores in Southern California.
Okay.
That's really expanding rapidly. So I think the glass bottles just make a difference. They stand out on the shelf. We do cool designs so people collect the bottles, but the big thing is we want them to return the bottles. If people don't know, there's a $2 deposit on them. Everybody can take those bottles back, wash, and we bring them back to the creamery. We wash them, sanitize them, refill them. That's a very unique thing in this day and age, but I think it's also something that, the younger generation, they appreciate that part of the business,
And
Yeah.
obviously, you've been able to grow, and expand, and the demand just continues to grow. I've been to the creamery a couple times, but I also was fascinated about the whole plant process, and especially recycling those bottles and cleaning. Talk about that, and even some of the equipment. You had to look far and wide for some of the equipment to do what you do
Yeah.
in the bottling section of it.
Yeah, it was a fun project putting the creamery together because we got equipment from I think there's 14 different states represented in there, because what we did was we just found older equipment. I mean, we have most of the equipment in there, and we have some newer stuff too that we bought brand new, but for the most part, it was from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. So we say we do
wow.
things the old-fashioned way, and it's just old equipment, right? And one of
Right.
those is the bottle washer.
Yeah.
The bottle washer came from an old dairy in Pennsylvania. We found it in the back of the dairy. It was all rusted and full of weeds and had been used forever. And in fact, the guy that had it said he was about ready to scrap it. We took it all apart. We put new buckets to match the glass bottles. We redid it all, put kind of new electronics on it, and we still are using it today. We plan on plopping it down in Arizona and using it for another, who knows how many years, 30 years. So
Wow.
It's a really neat process, and it's very unique. And not huge companies can do the glass bottle part of it. So
It's not an easy process, but one of the things I do recall and remember, it was so pristine, it's so clean in there, and obviously it has to be, and obviously you have to meet regulations, but I did feel like I was kind of going back in time, partly because of those glass bottles.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's even the sound, not just the
Yeah,
looks, the
the
sound. You hear
clinking
the
and-
clinking of the bottles
Yeah.
all over through the plant. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a stepping back in time. And I think that's kind of a neat, unique thing about our products too, is we resonate with a lot of different generations. We resonate with the younger crowd because of the sustainability side of our packaging,
Yeah.
but also the older crowd that remembers the milk, because we do home delivery too. The milk that gets delivered to the door, that sound. We have people come into the creamery store all the time and say, "Oh, I remember glass bottles when I pulled the tab off and the cream came out the top." Like
Yeah.
we hear that story all the time. So 2014 was a great time to launch that. And I mean, trust me, it was not like super planned by us by any stretch of the imagination. It was a little more, I'd be rather lucky than smart, but we really hit that time period where we got a lot of people that the glass bottles resonated with.
Right.
Well, yeah, and as someone who I think has tried every flavor,
Right.
you have some amazing flavors. How did you come up with, tell our audience a little bit about your flavors and how you came up with them.
Yeah, that's kind of a neat story too. We have blueberry milk out now. That was
love
actually
the
one of the
blueberry milk.
first flavors that I tried to develop myself before we even opened the plant. I like blueberry stuff. I don't know why,
I do too.
but that's just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
good.
Part of it was Indiana was big blueberry country, and my first job was picking blueberries, by the way. But anyways, I was trying to make blueberry milk at my house in the kitchen, and I couldn't make it right. And finally, I've got the right recipe, and I was like, I don't remember what I put in it. I didn't write it down right. I don't know how much sugar I put in it. I don't know how much flavoring I put in it. And that was just an absolute disaster. So I got to find somebody. And there's a guy in Levine, that's where the creamery store is at. He has a great ice cream shop called Scooptacular. And I went down to Lindy. I said, you got to help me with these flavors, man. Like, you do a great job. And I just love what you got here. Like, can you help me? He said, sure, we'd love to help you. Long story short, he ended up being our first plant manager.
Oh, wow.
And so he helped us to develop the first flavors that came out. He flies planes now. He flies for Frontier, but so he's not part of the plant anymore. But he helped us really learn how to make those flavors. And if you ever go to Levine, I mean, we have great ice cream, but he has great ice cream too. We're not that far. We're good friends, so he does a great job also with flavors and stuff. And you'll see
Is he
why we did it.
quasi chef? Is that why he's really gotten these flavors down, or?
Yeah, he loves food.
Okay.
He loves food.
Okay.
And ice cream is his thing, you know?
Yeah.
So,
List off some of the flavors so our listeners can know. And most of the grocery stores here in the Valley carry your Danzeisen's milk. So what
Yeah.
can they expect?
So we always have strawberry and chocolate,
Okay.
and we have a cold brew coffee milk. That's
That's the one I love.
yeah. They love people on the East Coast. The East Coast is big into coffee milk, I guess, but it resonates with those people, especially Massachusetts. People from Boston is a big thing there, I guess. But those are our staples. But then we just do banana milk all the time now too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a big hit.
It is. It's banana people are like fanatics about bananas. Like, you know how
They're
some
bananas about bananas.
They're bananas.
Yeah.
You know how some people got to tell you about everything they love? Banana people got to tell you, they got to like convince you
Yeah.
that banana's like the best thing ever, right? So they're fanatics, and we have I think the flavor profile is awesome, but so we do that one. But we also do root beer milk. We do blueberry. We do a peach milk. We do a cotton candy milk, which we've done things with the Diamondbacks with the cotton candy before, because it's the same teal color as the Diamondbacks. We're doing some other new flavors that are coming out soon. We're working with something called melon milk. I don't know.
Huh.
It's
You
not
gotta
as bad
try
as
it.
it sounds, but
I don't know, though. You got to try it.
Now, do you still have orange?
yeah, we still have orange.
Okay, that tastes like
an
a dreamsicle, an
Yes.
orange dreamsicle. It's
Yeah.
so good. I love that
Yeah.
one.
which that's kind of nostalgia too, right?
Uh-huh. That's true.
Creamsicle.
Uh-huh.
Let's go back to the glass bottles. And you kind of indicated that this business plan was kind of thrown together. You claim it wasn't as sophisticated, but to me it's brilliant. What inspired the idea of the glass bottles? Just
Well,
that
I think
old-fashioned
I think we just saw that it wasn't being done in Arizona. It hadn't been done for a long time. I do think that glass makes things taste better, and it's fresher, and it keeps milk colder because it's a better insulator. And so, you know, that was kind of the inspiration, is just that nobody was doing it. And we wanted we wanted our products to taste good and crisp. And I'm not saying that the other ones don't. It's just I do know that, like, for instance, beer tastes better in glass. And there's a lot of things that taste better in glass. So we thought it would be just a good idea to try it here in Arizona, and it worked. Like we're in basically almost all the grocery stores, and now pretty much if somebody asks, what do you do, and I say I'm Danzeisen Dairy, and they kind of look and they almost look like, oh, I've heard that before. And then if you say, do you know the stuff that's in the glass bottles? Then they automatically recognize the name and the brand. So
That's awesome.
It's been pretty cool.
So are you saying your next secret flavor is going to be beer milk? Is that what you're the glass?
Maybe an ice cream.
No.
In an ice cream.
Yeah.
So what is a typical day like for you then when you're
Yeah, that's
Or
a good
do
question.
Or is there a typical?
That's the thing. I don't think there really is, and I kind of like that. I don't like being in a routine. That's just not me. Today, for instance, I woke up and the FDA and the Department of Ag were there on a surprise inspection, which was fine. But that's a perfect example of you just never know what's going to happen every single day. So I actually had Fox News was out this morning, did an interview for them. So that's not a typical day, right? Most of the time, what I like to do is, and I have a great team. I need to say that. Like the people that I get to work around every single day are amazing, and I can't do it without them. And they run the day-to-day stuff, and I can't be more thankful for that group. But it gives me time to I try to more and more as I get older. I'm trying to look out 2 years, 5 years, and trying to figure out the path of how we're going to make, drawn out the path of how to get to somewhere in 5 years from now. So I like to spend a lot of time on that, but I also I try to spend a couple hours interacting or understanding our customers. I think it's very important to get feedback from the customers. I think it's very important to communicate with them. I do all the emails for customers that come in and have questions about dairy or have questions about our business or how the bottle deposits work. I try to answer all those questions myself back. I think it's important to do that, not only so you are understanding the customer, but you can kind of understand if there's something wrong going in your business too, because all of a sudden you'll have, hey, why is the strawberry milk not as pink as last week, or right? So I can pick up on problems and go try to fix those. I think it's very important to make sure that you are understanding your customer. And will we always fully understand our customer? I don't think we'll always fully understand, but I think that's one thing that we strive for at Danzeisen Dairy is really trying to bring what the customer wants, and the only way you can do that is to listen to them. So
I think that's so cool, and it kind of, because I am a big fan of all of your products, and I've tasted several of the flavors. To know that you're that attentive to the customer means you're going to always have a quality product, because it's troubleshooting, which is a good segue to my question. What are some of the challenges that you've faced since you guys opened in 2014?
Yeah, well, there's a lot, but like coming from a dairy background, and there's a lot of things that happen on a dairy farm, right? There's a lot of stuff that happens in a milk plant too. Like today, like the FDA was there, we had to, go through that stuff and understand quality and protocols and HACCP plans and all this stuff is very difficult for me. Not that it's just there's a lot to it.
Right.
It's very detail orientated. Again, I have great people that help with that and take care of that. The heat in Arizona is probably the biggest thing that we have to deal with, because keeping milk cold is the most important thing. Once you got milk cold, you got to keep it cold. And when it's 114 degrees outside, the reefers are breaking, and you got to get the milk from the truck to wherever you need to go, and the sun's beating down on it. So the heat is a big, just being able to deal with that. And
do glass bottles too? I mean, you have to handle everything with a little bit more tender, loving care when it comes to a glass bottle. Right?
Oh yeah, you don't want to be breaking it.
Yeah.
I tell people sometimes break a bottle in our store, and every time they break one, I go, that's the first time we've ever broken a bottle here. You should be ashamed of yourself. Like, we've broken so many bottles over there, So, in fact, I have the first load of bottles, and I'll send this video to you guys. You guys will laugh. My dad was going to unload the first load of glass bottles, and we just got our cameras set up, and he took the first pallet out and then was going to go forward, and the whole thing dropped right off the dock and just broke a whole pallet. And you see him just looking over, and he brings my guys over and he tries to clean it up, so like cover his tracks, but I got it all on camera for everybody to see forever. So yeah, the bottles are they're a huge blessing, but yeah, also you got to be handling them with care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, it sounds like you get a lot of interesting experiences. What brings you the most enjoyment? It sounds like you really enjoy the business overall, but is there something that stands out to you?
Yeah, I really like the dairy farm part of it when I was on the farm. But I think the coolest thing, getting to meet the people that I've gotten to meet just because we put milk in glass bottles has been amazing. I remember when we first launched, we had a partnership with the Arizona Cardinals, and we're putting a partnership together up in their main office, and that looks over their football field. Larry Fitzgerald was playing for them then, and some other guys, and I just thought to myself, it's like 10:30 in the morning. I go, I'm usually in the barn milking the hospital right now. Now I'm out here like doing this, putting a plan together how we can put the Cardinals logo on our glass bottles. And that's just an example of the kind of things that I've been able to do the last 11 years that I just wasn't doing before. And not to say that I couldn't, but it just the packaging, the difference in packaging brought those opportunities for me and my family. And that's one of the things I think I enjoy the most. So.
Yeah.
That's great.
So tell people if they haven't tried your flavored milks in glass bottles, because to your point, when you mention, the flavored milk in glass bottles, they say, oh, yeah. So where can they get it? Where can they purchase?
So we're in all the major grocery stores,
Okay.
Sprouts, Fry's, Albertsons, Safeway, Whole Foods. But they can also go to danzeisendairy.com and sign up for home delivery. I think this is the cool thing that we're going to really talk about looking out 2-3 years. Home deliveries is something that we're really going to expand because the returnable part of our glass bottles can be really daunting for some people. It's an inhibitor for people to buy our products, and I get it. Like, you got to bring the bottles back to the store, and you got to rinse the bottles. Like, that's not easy, right? So
What's the percentage of return? Do you know that?
we get about 50% back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, now, if they're sometimes like me, I like to keep a hold of some of them because I want to decorate with them. I want to put flowers or something in.
I was just thinking flowers would look so
Yeah.
good.
So you probably get quite a bit of that. But 50%. So if there's home delivery, that will shoot up.
Oh, yeah. You get about 100% of those back.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, with the $2 deposit, it is what it is. People want to use them for other things. Great. I always say, like,
Sorry.
Return your bottles now. Come on.
I always say our biggest warehouse for our bottles is people's cupboards. I mean,
Yeah.
if we just expand about how many bottles that never come back, there's a lot of bottles out there. So, in fact, we find them in antique stores sometimes, selling for 10 or $15. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, how fun.
Oh, wow. So you said you were going to be expanding your delivery service?
Yeah, that's our plan here in the next while. We kind of understand how to run it better. I mean, it was kind of a learning curve to learn how to do all those routes and all that. And, one thing you asked about, like, challenge, one of the challenges for me is understanding technology. Like, that's not my forte. And going forward, I know that that's something that we need to learn. So AI is going to help us with that part of the business, like getting orders in, putting the routes out. Now, I'm not trying to figure that out. Trust me, I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. But I think that's a challenging part for me personally. But yeah, we're planning on expanding that. We're planning on using high school kids, hopefully, that play sports or stuff like that, to give them a job and a way to make money, trying to get their neighbors and stuff like that that can earn commission, going through a mentorship program, teaching them how to manage money and stuff. Like, we're trying to put that together right now so that my kids play sports, and, like, it's hard to have a job because it takes so demanding. So we're hoping that this can be some sort of, like, income that they can have and still be able to do all their sports and extra activities. We're doing that. We're doing some other online marketing stuff to really try to grow the home delivery, because we just think it's a great service. I have it at my house, and we can hear the bottles clinking to like the
great.
milkman coming and have the bottles drop. My kids are in high school, and they still love it.
That's great. And any new flavors on the horizon then, or?
Our biggest thing right now is ice cream. I think you'll be able to see ice cream on shelves in 2026 in grocery stores.
Great.
So that's one thing that we're really working on. We also are working on coffee creamers. So those whole line of coffee creamers in glass bottles is probably coming out too. So those are our two main things that we're working on. The ice cream is that's a real. I mean, how many people make ice cream for a living? It's
Right.
so fun to be able to come up with all kinds of crazy flavors and make it really good.
If you need any taste testers for that ice cream, I could be there for you.
Anytime, come on down.
Both of us. So for our listeners that are out of state, do you sell out of state, or is that down the road, or is that a future prospect?
Like ship?
Yeah, ship. Yeah.
We haven't figured that part out yet,
Okay.
just because to keep it cold in the glass bottles,
That's
it's really
true.
expensive to ship. But
So-
we'll be able to ship ice cream and those types of things.
Okay. So come to Arizona to experience the myriad of flavors from Danzeisen's dairy. Ooh, I said that pretty good, didn't I?
Very nice. Well, and Southern California. What parts of Southern
that's true.
California are you?
We're basically from the border to all the way to like the Grapevine. We're in all the
Okay.
Sprouts
Oh.
in Southern California, with the Gelsons and a couple other grocery chains, and I think we're probably going to get in quite a few more after that. So, and we're actually launching in Vegas next week.
Oh, you
and
are?
we also are in about 20 stores in New Mexico.
Okay.
So, it's expanding, and we're expanding our footprint every single day. So,
That's fantastic.
How are you adapting to all of this growth? I mean, did you make your plant, your creamery, so that it's easy
to expand.
Expand?
Yes, but we are going to have to do some upgrades. I mean, it is 11 years old now already, so
Yeah.
we do have some current growth to fill. So we have a little time yet, but we are going to have to make some capital improvements on our place furniture, which I'm fine with. Like, let's go.
Yeah. And one of the things that strikes me about our visit that we've had is that I think you like to do some of it, in the business terminology, would call strategic planning. Like you're trying to think out that 3, 5, 10-year.
I love that part of it.
Okay.
Yeah. The crazy thing is you just never know what's going to come around the corner, you
Yeah.
know? And that's the thing is like, you could have this 3-year plan, but don't be scared to take advantage of an opportunity that presents itself. And so I think it's important to be flexible enough to understand when people have all kinds of opportunities, and understanding which opportunity is good for you and which one's not is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so cool. Don't you have some seasonal flavors?
Yeah. So like the orange and the root beer and the blueberry and cotton candy, those all rotate. We rotate a new flavor about every 2 months.
And in the fall, don't you come out with, or what is?
We got eggnog.
Oh, that's what it is.
Your eggnog's amazing.
Is that usually just in November and December then?
We've been
I
starting.
love your eggnog.
Thank you. So do I, unfortunately.
Well, and now the business is still a family business, right?
Yep.
Don't you have a brother that works
Yep,
there as well?
My
and your
brother's.
dad and-
Yep, my dad's there for the most part, and my brother runs the transportation side of the business, which is an important part of the business.
Yeah.
If we can't transport our milk from our creamery to stores, it's a problem. So that's a very important part, and he's starting to understand the AI and the technical side of the business and the data part. So yeah, it's a family business, but we like I said before, we have a great team, and a lot of them have been there for the whole time, 10 years. So I consider them a family too. So.
Oh, that's great. Well,
So
and
cool.
if I had to describe it, I'd say, Danzeisen milk makes milk fun because you have so many flavors and so many colors, and it's just fun. And that's so important because it's a healthy, nutritious product too. And you want kids and adults to make sure they're getting the protein they need and the calcium they need and all the essential nutrients in milk. And this makes that easy because it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see kids drag their mom to the milk shelf and say, "Hey, how can I get that milk?" And that was kind of our goal, was to, hey, let's get kids to drag their moms to the milk shelf, not the cookie shelf. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you're right. It is fun. It's a lot of fun. The bottle designs and the flavors and everything. And I think this whole thing about how milk is healthy is coming back. I mean, you can see it in the numbers. I mean, there's one ingredient on our whole milk, and it's milk. I mean, and that's a huge deal. I think moms are starting to understand that that's way better for their kids than a long ingredient list on some of the alternatives out there. And I'm excited about that. I think we had a little blip in the milk, consumption for a while, but that's just a blip on the long-term look, because you can't get away from it. Milk's healthy.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can say besides milk is healthy. And that's it.
It's like a renaissance, and so many, especially just the general population, that's recognizing the importance of staying healthy and exercising. And we always talk about chocolate milk as a recovery drink. Well, I contend Danzeisen's strawberry milk is a recovery drink, right?
It is. Well,
So-
milk hydrates better than water.
Yeah, so there you go.
And I mean, compared to other sports drinks out there, you got the protein and other minerals and vitamins and all those that you get along with hydration. So
Yep.
you can't beat it, in my opinion. Chocolate milk is, I mean, why wouldn't you want to drink chocolate milk to hydrate and recover?
Yep.
Now, is chocolate milk still the favorite flavor?
It is. You can't have this business without having a good chocolate milk. But I like them all. I like them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you need that protein before you work out to help your muscles. You need it after for recovery.
Yep.
And they're finding more and more, many Americans aren't getting enough protein. So
Yeah.
that's a great way to get protein in great flavors.
It's already naturally in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's so cool.
anything you want our listeners to take away from all of this with dairy and your milk products?
Yeah, no, we covered a lot of it. I think it's important for people to understand the quality of milk that we have in Arizona, the quality of dairymen that are in the state. It's not easy to dairy in the state because of the heat. We touched on that, and that has made the dairy industry here exceptional. And the quality of milk that comes out of the state, the quality of feed that comes out of the state. As a community and as a state, we should be proud of this industry. I get to see it every single day that the quality is second to none here. So I think it's important for Arizonans to know that.
So the challenge of the heat made us better at dairying.
It did. It really did. I mean, fans and misters and those girls got to stay cool out there.
Yep.
They do. And, you bring up a good point about how much care goes into the product and making the product and taking care of the animals and everything. But you mentioned having the inspection, and the other side of it is dairy is just highly regulated and safe. I mean, there are so many different touch points to make sure dairy is safe and regulated and kept at the proper temperature. And so, I think you've got a really nutritious product there, a fun product, and we all know that it's taken a lot of care to get from the cow to the store. It's a great option for everyone.
Yeah, thanks. I love what we do, and I can't say thank you enough for the customers that we have and the dairy guys out there providing great quality milk for us. And yeah, the future's bright, not only for Danzeisen Dairy, but for the dairy business here and Arizona as a whole. So I'm looking forward to the future.
Thanks for coming in, Kevin. This
You
has
bet.
been fun, and it's inspiring me to get my favorite flavors from the dairy case again.
DanzeisenDairy.com.
Yes.
And thank you for being with us
You
today.
bet.
We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.